Good evening and welcome to First Word on April 24th, 2020. We're glad that you have chosen to share with us this evening. At age 20, Jim hitchhiked to Mexico with a friend whose parents were in Mexico as missionaries. And in that one casual fun trip of two college students, the pull upon Jim's heart from God to missions was firmly planted. After graduation from college, he went back to his home state of Oregon. He spoke at churches, he did odd jobs, and he prayed for God's direction, which led him to a full summer of language study at the University of Oklahoma. His tutor for that summer was a former missionary to the Indians in Ecuador. And the vision was then born in full. On July 4th, 1950, Jim convinced himself to have a 10-day time of prayer in his life. And on July 14th, he was reading this. Exodus 23:20. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you by the way and to bring you to the place which I have prepared for you. For Jim, the direction was clear. He would go to Ecuador. It would be in the will of God. He overcame all obstacles and dealt with some personal issues in his life, and he went to Ecuador. It was some years later, the story ends, or the story is fulfilled. While ministering to the Auca Indians, he and 4 friends were attacked and killed with homemade lances and machetes. The will of God took his life. It would be better stated to say the will of God took care of his life and life eternal. And the nature of God was to care for the one that He called. And He did not fail Jim in Ecuador. God took care of Jim Elliott. God took him to the place that He had prepared long ago, proclaimed in the book of Exodus. He took him to that place, and Christ went ahead of him to prepare for him. And all who still hear that voice and hear the call of God and trust the call of God and follow in obedience the call of God still have the wonderful blessing of God taking you to the place that He has prepared for you. And I believe that call is available to all who will listen. And our great God is so concerned and loves us so much and cares for us. He is always there for us. Will you hear? Jesus said, anyone who comes after me must deny himself daily and take up his cross and follow me. There have been thousands upon thousands that have heard the call of God. He took them to improbable places. He took them to difficult places. And yet He cared for them. He loved them. He blessed them. And He provided that miracle of walking with them in that most perfect place in the world, the will of God. No matter what age we are or what stage we are in life, the will of God and the call of God still comes. And it comes to you, to that place right now where you can serve Him and God will meet you there. I give thanks that God has called us all. I give thanks that God has called His church, and I give thanks that He is still calling people who have known Him and called Him Savior to be their Lord, to deny themselves daily and take up their cross. Until we're together tomorrow evening, I hope you have a blessed evening and day, and thank you for sharing with us this evening.